The Lundon Calling show number 12 of the London Bridge Talk Show, where we bridge the gaps, the generation gaps, with 3 generations of Gabby Gays. Not building the gap, but bridging the gaps are your hosts, Sean Chandler, Donny Winter, and Ace Lundon. I am the elder in the 80 bracket, and I'll moderate the show, sort of like, if I can get a word in edgewise sometimes. And Donny and John at 50 and 25, like, how did that word get in again? Okay. So let's see, folks, how the generations do think differently, or maybe the same. By the way, Sean, are you there now? Yes, you are.
I am. Hi, Ace. Hi, Donny. Hi, listeners.
Hello, Don.
Hi.
What is that? You chap my something or other? What is this?
An ass chap.
An ass chap. I think I have an ass chap.
Good. Let's hear it.
Well, I think I do. Okay. Somebody said, have you seen TRMS? TRMS? No. I said, is that like one of those LOL things? And he goes, oh, God. And he was a young guy. Couldn't believe that I didn't know what TRMS was. And do you know?
I don't know.
And you're 25, okay.
I don't know either. No.
Well, believe it or not, it is The Rachel Maddow Show, TRMS. That's what they named it. What in the hell is going on with all of these? I have macular degeneration, but we don't call it that. We call it MD. Now, I always thought MD was my doctor, but evidently it isn't. And now I have my doctor. I have MD. And TRMS. Why are people using these, whatever
acronyms?
Yeah. Oh, God. They drive my generation crazy. How about you guys? Now, evidently, you didn't even know what TRMS was.
Well, they drive me crazy, too. Mostly
Really?
because I think it's a sign that people are too lazy to say actual titles. But that's just me. And I guess I'm maybe old-fashioned. I've had people tell me that before.
Well, if I have macular degeneration, I don't want somebody to tell me I have MD. I want to hear the words. It's the words that count. And TRMS doesn't mean pities it. Whatever that is.
So you don't want your MD coming in and telling you that you have MD?
Right. Oh, God.
It doesn't bother me unless I don't know what the hell they're saying. If I don't know what the fuck it means, oh, sorry. Did you tell everybody that we're an adult show? And
oh, I forgot, folks. We have a potty mouth, so watch yourself from this point on the show. Okay.
Yeah, I dropped an F-bomb there.
Sorry.
Yeah, you did.
Sorry about that.
Sure, everybody will be entertained.
Speaking of dropping a bomb, I think there's a difference in the generation with this too. Farting.
What do you mean? Explain yourself, please.
Clarify, Ace.
Yeah.
Please.
Well, let's go to Donny first. Do your generation friends in their 20s, do a lot of them fart?
I mean, I don't usually hear them fart if they do, but I'm sure they do. I mean, I fart from time to time.
You do? Okay.
Because I am human and it's a natural process.
It is, okay. How about you, Sean?
Everybody farts, you guys. Like Donny said. Yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, I think what you're talking about is fart etiquette, right?
No, I'm not talking about the etiquette yet. But
okay.
The reason I brought this up is because I was thinking the other day, after I farted, I said to myself,
inspiring.
When I was younger, in my 20s and 30s and such, I rarely farted. If I farted once, it was such a thing that it almost took me by surprise. My God, I farted. But I never farted. I didn't start farting until the years passed. And that's maybe why they came up with the thing, he's an old fart. Maybe it is that older people fart more than any of your generations.
Oh, Ace, the Confucius of flatulence.
Philosophical insight. Speaking of etiquette, Sean, I was on an elevator once in Los Angeles, and there were a whole bunch of people on it, and someone let a silent one, and it was a stinker. And of course, you cannot help but laugh watching everybody there because they're looking around at everybody else, So whoever did the fart and was never discovered because everybody blamed everybody else. But that's awful. God.
Well, physically, maybe you fart more I can't believe we're talking about farting. If you fart more as you get older, maybe because you're, I don't know, maybe you just have to eat more roughage because we have to do that to keep our cholesterol down. So maybe that's why. I don't know. I remember farting a lot as a kid, and I still do it. But I think that there's a difference between like deliberate public farting and like trying to keep it on the down low. There's some people who will walk around and just fart whenever they want, and they think it's cute. I don't think it's cute. I think it's gross. And then there are people who go in the bathroom and fart or fart in their house when nobody's there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know, because I follow people, in the markets and such, and I'm walking behind them, and again, this old man in front of me. He was like maybe eight steps in front of me, but I hear him go poop, poop, poop as he's walking, and I thought, that's an old fart, by golly, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you get older and you cheek them out because you just don't know what's happening. You just don't have the awareness, right?
I often wonder in my philosophical mind how these huge butts, when they fart, because I unfortunately saw this in of all places. I did go there. Don't hold it against me. I was at Walmart, and I was behind this incredibly large woman. Incredibly large, at least 400 plus pounds. And she was there pushing a cart because she needed to push it to hang on to it. And she had one of these butts that, extended out, like, what do they call those kind of butts? The
fat.
Well, yeah, definitely fat, but they come way out. When we were young, somebody would say, well, black men like those kind of butts. Oh, so okay, so that's okay. But anyway, she had one of those, and at the size that she was too much. And she farted, and it splattered.
Oh, God.
I know. She didn't know it. She just kept going like nothing happened. Well, she probably couldn't hear the fart because the butt was so big that it was stuck way far away from her ears. But this whole business of farting, it's quite a topic, isn't it?
I'll tell you this much: when I was your age, I did not like talking about farting. I thought it was disgusting. As I've gotten older, I've mellowed to it.
I mean, I can't say that talking about farting is off-putting for me. I mean, I talk about farting with friends sometimes, so.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've never talked about farting in this degree of detail. However, fart conversation has arisen from time to time.
Well, that's my chap ass chap.
Literally an ass chap farting.
Yeah. Well, no, TRMS.
Oh, TRMS is your.
Oh, the acronyms are okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, I think actually farting is probably closer to an ass chap than the Rachel Maddow.
That might be. Okay.
Oh my God.
Fire away. What have you been doing since we last had our date?
Well, I have an ass chap too, and my ass chap, actually, we've got a couple of states that are just really, really not doing well lately with the gay community and have us up in arms. And my ass chap has to do with Tennessee. Now, I like Tennessee a lot. I love Nashville. I have family from there, but this is sort of very, very distressing to me. In Tennessee, the legislature passed a bill. It's called House Bill 1840, Senate Bill 1556, and it's come to be known as Hate Bill 1840. And it's going to go to the governor's desk and eventually, so he could sign it. Hopefully he won't. And what it's aimed at counselors, like counselors of people, that like therapists. And what it says is that no counselors, quote, shall be required to counsel or serve a client as to goals, outcomes, or behaviors that conflict with a sincerely held religious belief. And essentially what it means is it's trying to protect the right of conscience of a counselor. And that's a quote this is from advocate.com, to safeguard their religious beliefs and moral convictions. So it is saying that the fear is that Christian therapists would be forced to counsel and by proxy affirm LGBT identified people. Like you couldn't turn away somebody who needed your help as a counselor because you were religious, and you wouldn't tell them to go. You can't tell them essentially, or what you would normally tell them to do is to go to pray or go to a conversion therapy or something like that. And so this is just really pissing me off. And just so you know, before the bill was introduced, there had been no complaints brought to the Tennessee Counseling Association or the licensing board or any other entity of such concerns. Basically, they're afraid that somebody's going to go in and say, I'm gay, and they're going to have to say, okay, well, let's roll with that and see what's really going on in your life. And this is just. It just seems like, I don't know, what bothers me the most, you guys, is that all this shit that the states are doing right now is, Ace, you can take it. I can take it.
Like in North Carolina? Yes.
And yes, and in North Carolina as well. Yeah, we all are grown-ups. We can take it. Now, Donny, you've just gone through some, a relatively difficult phase before you entered into your young adulthood. But what makes me upset about all of this is that it filters down to LGBTQ youth. Mm-hmm. And they are the ones, we can stand up and say, fuck you, we don't like this, but they are the ones who are vulnerable. They are the ones who are getting this attitude filtered down to them. And they don't have a place to escape to most of the time. I think this kind of crap definitely filters down to our kids, and we have more LGBTQ suicides, homelessness, violence, murders, things like that. So it just bugs me when this kind of stuff happens. So that's my ass chap.
It's a good one. I agree with you there. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Maybe, but Johnny again, Donny's generation, maybe that generation isn't as tough as your generation or mine. Because, let's face it, parents went through that horrible time in history a few decades ago where they didn't want to spank the kids or anything, and they were, oh my God, it was political correctness up the ass, you know. Maybe the kids have gotten soft.
I don't think it necessarily has to do with whether we're tough or soft. Like, I think it has to do with the level of comfort we've gotten in our society, because with the advancements that have happened, like marriage equality and other things, I think we've forgotten that there are actually places in our own country where gay people, well, the LGBTQ community doesn't have all of their rights. And I think that false sense of comfort deters us from actually standing up for ourselves sometimes.
That's a good observation. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think that not everybody is a political person. And I think when things do sort of settle a little bit in between our bursts of equality, if you will, or our bursts of fighting for equality, we have a tendency to rest on our laurels, like, oh, everything's cool now. But I don't know. I mean, I think that, you know, Donny, sometimes I think about your story, and I think it's a version of my story, and it's a version of Ace's story. It was somebody saying you are inferior. Mm-hmm. You are less than. It happened to Donny. I know it happened to you. I know it happened to me. And Ace, I know for sure it happened to you because you lost everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but here's the thing: we're adults, and we have a place to go to. We know how to be grown-ups. You subject this kind of thing to a society in a state, and it filters down to them and pressures them. They don't have any place to go. And and on top of it, it just sends a horrible message.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. By the way, I got another Chaps now. You turned me on to the political scene. And my ass, Chap, why do you think the general public in America is upset and angry and all of this rabble that's going on today? Why do you think it is happening that way?
Well, I think it's because of the fact that we're making strides that we've never made before. I mean, and it's just it's just the people who have tried to oppress us are just grasping at straws. And that's how I feel about it. Donny, I'm not sure what your opinion is on that.
I honestly feel the same way.
I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure. All I know is that I've never seen a primary like we're going through now. I've never seen the American public as riled up as they are with regard to all of this stuff. In the days when MLK was around and they were, organized, against the politicians, etc. That was totally different. They had an anger that was very specific, But when you listen to these people that are being interviewed on television, when they ask them, what bothers you? Well, with one it's this, with another it's that. I mean, it's just everything seems to be bothering the people these days, and it all stems down to what is making them boil over. And I think it is this. Now, I could be wrong, but of course, like Mr. Trump, I don't ever want to admit that I would be. I think it is this. We hear it continually. Pledged delegates, super delegates, unbound delegates, the Rules Committee, Electoral College. I think the general public is so fed up with this system that they're ready to boil over. I'm sure we aren't going to have a real revolution because there's another civil war. No. But I don't know. We won't have that. We may have little things, little riots or whatever you want to call them, because people are that fed up. But it's a very strange time. And it all stems to the base cause of it is that it's like I've heard now 3 people that are in the Congress on the news and such, and all 3 of them basically said this: I am so happy to be living in a democracy. And when I first heard the first one, I thought, I wonder where he's living. And how in the hell did he get into the Senate? We don't have a democracy. This is not a democracy we live in. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. We, folks, are a republic. If we were a democracy, which I would absolutely love, if we were a democracy, your vote and my vote would actually count. And by God, are votes now counting? No. The damn delegates pledged, super, unbound, their votes are counting as if they were us. And the Electoral College, which has been around way too many decades, but they can't get rid of it because it's, I think, in a part of our Constitution or something or other.
Could somebody explain to me the superdelegate thing? Because it has never made sense. No matter what research I've done, it still does not make sense.
None of these delegate things make sense in my mind.
Okay, so it just isn't me.
I think that the people, this gives the people the base to hate and to scream and to want to support wild men like Trump.
Well, our nation for the last 15, 20 years has essentially been really just split down the middle. And this isn't the first time that we've been in a situation where somebody has won an election because they lost the popular vote, but they won the Electoral College delegate vote. So
yeah, that's like Gore and Bush. But it was, I can't remember. It ended up being just 17 votes or less. One vote.
Yeah.
But it was all Electoral College. The people didn't elect them. It was the Electoral College. Yes.
Yeah, and Donny, to answer your question, from what I'm recalling from history class from, appropriately enough, decades ago, history ago, is that the amount of votes that you get in a certain territory within the state equals a certain amount of electoral college votes. I believe it's geographically based. So you could get a ton of votes from an area that doesn't have a whole lot of electoral college clout, if you will. So
now is this the super delegates you're explaining, or just like the regular Electoral College delegates?
I'm just explaining what I know of the Electoral College.
Oh, okay.
Super delegates, I have no idea, and I can't remember that detail.
Plus the fact that, like those 3 Congress people, it's so wonderful living in a democracy. And then I can't figure out where they really live, because it certainly isn't the United States. And I hear that, and then I think, okay, what are we teaching? How can these people have been elected to Congress, and they think we're in a democracy? I don't understand. You see, it just blows my mind to think that we are as stupid as we are, and no wonder I can hear Trump every once in a while, and I say, "Amen, Trump. You are stupid." Yeah, the whole damn population is stupid. We I don't know what in the hell we do, but there's something that is needs to change, and they need to change in the schools to the point where we are taught that it is a republic, and then to learn what a republic is, and then taught about a democracy, and then try to find one in the world and emulate it or make our own democracy. I think that one of the things Congress could do to help bring about a democracy-like thing with regard to our voting is they have the ability to get rid of all of those delegates things and just make it a new law that says, go to the polls and vote. Your vote counts, and it goes directly to whoever you voted for. That's democracy. Anyway.
Well, let's veer away from calling the population not so bright and give our extremely bright Donny Winter an opportunity to talk about some of the wonderful people that sponsor our show. Donny, take it away.
All right. Let me put on my tiara real quick. Okay, so let's give a big thank you to our sponsors. First of all, we'd like to thank the awesome company run by our brilliant engineer, Miraculous Mike Means, and his lovely wife, our girl, Juanita, for the great stage and theatrical design and also jewelry design. They also do audio and video editing, so please visit their website at www.eclectic-resources.net. Next, and equally as fab, let's thank our friends at Diversity Rules Magazine, a wonderful LGBTQ-focused online magazine that can be found at diversityrulesmagazine.com. Also now available as an app on our smartphones. Diversity Rules Magazine, celebrating the diversity of our humanity. A great, great resource to check out. And next we have, we're thrilled to now be featured on Next Big Thing Radio, a terrific podcasting website featuring funny and informative shows from fellow podcasters. Their website is nextbigthingradio.net, and they also have an app for our smartphones. So definitely a place that's creating a venue for podcasting for the new age. If you'd like to learn more about our fabulous Ace Lundon, you can visit his blog, Scattered Thoughts from a Scrambled Brain, where he waxes funny and philosophical things on a wide range of topics, and you can find that at acelundon.wordpress.com. I know I am particularly looking forward to an entry on farting, so hopefully we're graced with that. If you enjoy watching YouTube videos, you're more than welcome to check out my own YouTube channel, youtube.com/DonnyWinter. I discuss tons of subjects ranging from being a bullying survivor to LGBTQ activism. Overall, I just try to share experiences because we are riddled with silence in our society. We're always told that we can't express ourselves. Well, I try to defy that via my YouTube. If you would like to learn more about the wonderfully delightful Sean Chandler, you can visit his writer's website at seanwchandler.com or follow him on Twitter, and his Twitter handle is SeanAtTheFlash. And, of course, please visit our new website for posted shows and updates, lundon-calling.com. And naturally, make sure that you like our Facebook page, facebook.com/LondonBridge. And back at you guys.
Okay, thank you, Donny. Thank you.
He's a natural.
Yes, he
Oh,
is.
stop it.
By the way, we refer to Sean behind his back as Raymond. You know, he's the writer. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is a musty reference, Ace, if I've heard one.
Well, I'm old enough to remember Raymond Chandler.
Well, then there was Otis Chandler, I think, who
Yes.
owned the Los Angeles Times.
Yes.
Yeah, I gotta ask that. Oh, so are you a descendant of Otis Chandler? No, I'm not of that Chandler family. I'm of the trailer park Chandlers. The only paper that we owned was toilet paper. So we've ripped on Tennessee. Sorry, Tennessee, but you had it coming. Now, should we shred into North Carolina a little bit, guys?
Might as well.
Yes.
They're up to their knees in shit back there, so might as well. Mm-hmm.
Speaking of toilet paper, boy, they are just, they've got their, well, I have a no passe for effort for North Carolina. Okay. And it comes from Billy Richardson, who is a Democratic state representative from North Carolina. He voted for HB 2, the discriminatory anti-LGBT bill that outlawed all local civil rights ordinances. And he was one of the 11 Democrats to vote in favor of the bill. He says now that he is haunted by that vote, and he calls for a full repeal of the law. He wrote, by enacting House Bill 2, the legislature did the wrong thing. I made the wrong vote, and we must now make it right. My parents raised me to avoid any rush to judgment and to consider the consequences of my decisions. They stressed to me that I will make mistakes, but when made, never compound a mistake by sitting silent and failing to own up to the error.
Who is this saying this?
This is Billy Richardson. He is a Democratic state representative from North Carolina.
Okay.
And he voted, he's a Democrat, and he was one of the 11 Democrats to vote in favor of the bill. And he's a lawyer, and he is coming back now and saying that they rushed this to action. And he says, I undermined a lifetime of fighting against those who would demonize a group of citizens to gain political advantage and to advance an unjust election. Instead of recognizing the right to be free of discrimination based on one's sexual orientation, HB 2 gives green light to this discrimination in housing, employment, and other areas. To paraphrase Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy, we must never make any group of citizens a stranger to the laws of their own state. He says that it gives the green light to discriminating in housing, employment, and other areas. Now, I'm going to present to you the question, do we give this guy a no pass or do we give him an A for effort?
Oh, definitely an A for effort. He's doing what he's doing what he should be doing, and he's owning up to the fact that I screwed up.
I'm leaning toward A for effort too, because I like it when people own their mistakes, and I feel like he's making an attempt to do so.
It's called atonement in the church.
Well, can I throw a wrench into your A for effort?
Oh, a wrench.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they're being hit hard by a lot of different angles, rightfully so. Recently, Bruce Springsteen canceled a show in North Carolina over the law. Bryan Adams canceled his show in North Carolina. Joel McHale from Community, and he's a movie actor, and he does a show on E! He's donating the proceeds for his show to an LGBT cause, and they're getting all of these people who are pulling their business away. So one of the comments that I have, because this came from Toll Road, I love Toll Road, is that maybe he's feeling some financial pressure.
Well, sure, they're going to feel financial pressure. Hell, PayPal is pulling its stakes up and things like that. It's going to be pressure, but if that governor has any brains at all between those big ears, he should have known that they were going to get hit bad because this is not the time, the era that we are in to pull something that stupid. But he did it anyway, which says an awful lot about North Carolina and its voters.
Well, it says a lot about the politicians. I mean, did he read it?
Did these boys, do you know that you think they really read? Are you kidding me? They don't. Once in a while, maybe Ted Cruz will because he's kind of like that, but most of them don't.
Yeah, it just makes, I don't know, I think it makes him look stupid in a way.
Sure does. And they don't care. They don't care.
Yeah, well.
So I'd say whatever happens, I hope that it gets rough enough so that the population is beginning to feel really pinched and chapped ass to the point where the population says, "Okay, Governor, you're really riling us up, and we need help, and you have stopped it from coming. The tourism is down, etc., etc." Next thing you know, you'll be levying more taxes on us.
So considering that, do you guys still give this guy an A for effort, or do you think that he's bending to fiscal pressure from?
No, he's not. He's not. That was a sincere apology, or whatever you want to call it. That was sincere. He had to reach into his gut for that one. So I'm sure he could give a hoot less about what's happening economically. He's there for a moral reason.
Donny, do you keep your answer the same?
Oh, I will be in the middle.
Are you going to throw your vote to Mike?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to say I'm really 50-50, but Donny threw his vote to Mike, so I'm going to say no pass. He should have read it. He should have read it, and he should have thought about it at the time.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree. I agree with that.
Okay. So, Mike, just go ahead and type your answer or chime in whenever you're ready. Da, 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 da. Mike, are you there?
He's typing.
I'd say Mike says no pass.
In not so many words, Mike says no pass.
He used that 4-letter F word, fart, again, Oh, no, it was different. Okay.
So fart him?
Farted.
If you're a politician, it's your job to read that stuff, right?
Yeah, but Sean, you're living in a fantasy world if you think these people do. I mean, some of the old timers did, but it's like in the news people. Walter Cronkite was so revered. What a great newsman, Whitey Larson back home would come on the air drunk. Not a great newsman, but he was popular back in Dakota. So what do these people do in their job? They are making money. They're having their egos bathed because they're a congressperson or a senator or something. They're getting a lot out of it. But do they read? I doubt it.
Well, we're talking about people's equality here. And I may be living in a fantasy world, but we need to call these people out for it.
You damn yes, we do. But look at those. Now, well, let me pick on the South. Look at some of those southern states. Their governor was just released from jail for attempted murder, which he only got 5 months for, et cetera, et cetera. Here's another one getting caught having his cock sucked by his secretary. And what do? They vote them back in. They vote them in. Where are the minds of the masses besides being up their asses?
Did you just make that up?
I did. It just flowed. Like
I'm writing that down right now.
Well, that's where the masses' minds are. And like I say, they have voted in these idiots. Some of them are really, truly idiots. I would hate to give them all IQ tests. No, actually, I'd like to. But,
well, I think if they would just remove their heads from their asses, they'd be fine.
Well, this may be true, but that's not easy to do. Mm-hmm. You actually sometimes.
Well, I endeavor to not put my head up there in the first place. So
you actually have
make
to
it
have
easy for me.
You actually may have to have someone pull it out.
Not without a lot of yoga.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think Mike chimed in. Sorry, listeners, you can't hear him, but we can. And he had said it's their job. He inferred that really a politician's job or part of their job description is to keep their job, which sometimes means kissing ass to people and giving people what they want. And it is the true politician who can stay away from all of that. But we can't say it doesn't occur.
No, but in a republic it does.
Yep, we're back to the republic.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Back to the base. The base. That's what you have to work from the base up.
Okay, you guys. So you know how we're like always ragging, not always, but we sort of rag. Our rag usually like applies a little bit more, mostly to the right wing, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you two guys are Democrats. I'm just a lonely little Republican here.
Okay, okay. Well, I'm going to give you an opportunity here to end our show, an opportunity to say that we will address the fact that there are gay Republicans out there.
Oh, yeah.
There was I wanted to talk about this on our last show, but we ran out of time. And this was comes from the Advocate.
I got to interrupt you before this goes away. In the entertainment industry, which I spent most of my life in, it used to the whole thing was there are no Republicans in show business, and the Democrats were really ragging on show business possibility of Republicans. If they could find one, it'd be like finding an N in a woodpile, So there are plenty of Republicans in show business, folks, plenty of them. And there are plenty more Democrats in show business. And there is that fight going on in show business for sure. Okay, go ahead.
Oh my God, Ace. Just wondering if you just heard what you just said. But anyways, let's move on. This was from a commentary, which I do not endorse, by the way. This is from a commentary off of Advocate magazine. It came out a couple weeks ago from a transgendered individual named Amanda Carey, and it's called "We Shouldn't Burn LGBT Republicans at the Stake." And it really just it lands kind of on the shoulders of Caitlyn Jenner. Because a couple weeks ago, as you recall, she was taking heat because of the fact that she said that she wanted to be Ted Cruz's transgendered representative, if you will. And
isn't Caitlyn a part of that Kardashian family?
Yes, she is.
Okay, well, consider the source then. Caitlyn is a part of the Kardashian family, and what's she doing? She is saying something absolutely ridiculous. I can be his running mate, stuff like that. She's getting publicity. She's a PR freak, even if she is a trans.
Don't get too far ahead on this, Ace, because I think you might agree with some of the stuff that this lady, this transgender lady, who is the author of the article, not Caitlyn herself, is saying. Okay, so that social media blew off her concerns, and they were just saying that she's out of touch because of living most of her life before she transitioned as a white male. And what this person is saying. Now, this author is was bisexual and then transitioned, but from I think it was like 2000 and 2005 are when all those changes took place, and is a registered Democrat. But she is saying somehow we, the LGBT community and Q, put qualifiers on which political party we're supposed to be a member of. It says here that it's sort of the accepted norm that when a person comes out of the closet, they come out carrying a yellow newspaper saying Dewey defeats Truman and a Mondale Ferraro button. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it's that still we seem to be wedded to the idea that we are at least supposed to be Democrats as LGBT people. And to some, you're not only – you should be slightly to the left of Trotsky, who was, I believe, a socialist, if I'm not mistaken. And it's odd that we think that way, that for some reason – who we love or how we identify determines our attitudes about taxes, foreign policy, Wall Street oversight, and the Second Amendment. Now, Ace, you are a Republican. Do you agree with this person?
Yeah, I think she's saying a lot of things that need to be said, yes. And like Jimmy LaSalva, he was head of the, I don't know, GOP thing. Oh, Go Proud, I think it was, or something like that. Anyway. And he recently became a Democrat, but he was a Republican. And there are a lot of Republicans that have now registered as Democrats. And there are, believe it or not, strangely, I've met some young Democrats who want to become Republicans, of all things. Mm-hmm. But the one thing you'll find is that if you find a Republican who is gay, you're probably also going to find a very, very intelligent Republican. Because we know we're onto it all. We're in on it. We hear all this shit because we're Republican and they talk to one another, you know. So I don't know how the others vote. I only know how I vote. And it's nobody's business, but I vote very carefully.
Donny,
I think things through.
Donny, how did the gay millennials feel about being a gay Republican?
See, I can understand being a gay Republican in the context of economics and, economically supporting a more conservative standpoint. But when it comes to being socially Republican, it still baffles me.
It does me too, Donny.
Caitlyn Jenner and her very self-defeating comments toward the LGBTQ community do not make sense. I don't understand how a person can suddenly embrace their identity and then suddenly cast it off and everyone else's identity along with it. It's nothing. See, to me, there is no excuse for that type of LGBTQ Republican. But that's just my opinion. It's just me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the log cabin Republicans who are always sort of labeled as self-loathing homosexuals during the I know that's how they're labeled, unfortunately. During the Supreme Court battle for marriage equality, they really, really worked hard to get the anti-gay justices on our side by submitting an amicus brief. They filed a lawsuit that helped fall Don't Ask, Don't Tell. They protested the Iran nuclear deal for not addressing homophobic human right abuses, and they fought tooth and nail against the federal marriage amendment, which sought to ban same-sex marriage through a constitutional amendment. So they've done a lot.
It's what we say on every show, and I was going to use it to close the show, but I'll say it now. There is so much good in the worst of us and so much bad in the best of us. It's hard to tell which of us ought to reform the rest of us. Excuse me.
Well, Ace, this is what you always say, what I remember from you saying from Empty Closet, and that's the Republicans are right when they say Democrats were the party of Confederacy and segregation. Wasn't it Abraham Lincoln, who was a Republican, who freed the slaves? And in addition, it really... You used to tell me all the time that it was until we became a theology.
John, you have to remember that he freed the slaves, yes, but he was also a gay Republican in the closet, but he was gay. You can look it up, folks. Do your own research. Anyway, go ahead, John. Sorry.
Well, no, I mean, you used to say that there was we've turned into a theocracy.
Yeah, that's scary. It's scary.
Yeah, it was when the Republican Party started espousing or using theocracy to their advantage to get elected by playing on the sensibilities of religious people. And that's when it all started to... I think this is from what I recall from what you were saying. That's when it all started kind of going downhill.
Like when the Republicans the party was taken over, literally taken over by the religious right. They'd been working for that for years and decades, and they finally accomplished it. And now the last 2 decades or whatever, we've had a Republican Party that is to the religious right. And that's where all of the shit is coming down from, you know? So it's a party that's very different. And to be a Republican these days, you say, okay, are they bringing their religion in like Ted Cruz is? You know, his first and foremost thing was to be honorable to his Savior Jesus Christ. Second thing, to his country. Great. I just want a president like that, wouldn't you? Mm-hmm. Okay. So we've got to stand up as a Republican and as a gay person in the party and make our voices heard from time to time when we can get a word in edgewise. But we have to keep doing it. And the only way that I've been able to keep doing it is not to leave the party. And I'm sure I'm a pain in the ass to so many of my dear Republican friends.
Well, I don't know what they're talking about on the college campuses as far as politics go, but I don't know. I don't know what the millennials, what they lean towards, as far as whether the
millennials lean toward party time, having fun, da da da. They don't know. They don't care.
That's not fair to Donny.
I think that's a stereotype, Ace.
Oh, it is. That's right.
That'd be like me saying that everybody in your generation, they're boring,
we're just old
unprogressive people.
We're just old farts. That's all.
Well, you're kind of right. And to address the generations here, there's this transgendered woman provided a couple of statistics. He wrote, it may shock you, but 20% of LGBT people self-identify as conservative. And it goes up to 30% if you're polling people over 50. So there you go. So maybe it's a generational thing for people.
I've always thought of myself as being a conservative Republican. But the party, when I got involved, was back when Ike and, who was it? Taft, whom I supported. Ike and Taft were running, and Taft lost. But Mr. Conservative, the conservatives, and I've always considered myself conservative. The only time that things have really changed has been since the religious right took over the party, and all of a sudden, the social values that the old-time Republicans believed all of a sudden became taboo. And the Democrats took them over because the Democrats had a big change in their party also. They were more like a Republican party, and the Republicans were more like a Democratic party years and years ago. But no, it changes. We can't, I can't, as a Republican, vote for someone who is anti-gay. I can't. That would be voting against me. So. Our votes really have to be very different than normal, I think.
Well, do you get a lot of shit from people for being a gay Republican?
Oh, yeah. Always have. Except when I was back in South Dakota, because everybody's a Republican there. And it's awful that you don't hear. For instance, okay, let me say this. Let's say that you are a Republican, but you have no idea what the Democrats believe. Or let's say you're a Democrat and you don't have any idea what the Republicans believe. And why? Because as a good Republican or a good Democrat, you don't look at any liberal news. You don't look at any conservative news. You don't know what the fuck is going on in the party that is your enemy. And the only way you can know is have a chance to listen to that idiot Rush Limbaugh every once in a while and get a chance to hear what he has to say. And how do you, otherwise you wouldn't know. You would have no idea what an idiot he is unless you'd listen to him. And it's the same in, there are some Democrats that I just cannot stand to even see almost on television because they're really super duper ultra liberal Democrats. I don't like the ultra on anything. We got to, the only place that we're going to meet right from left is in the middle of the street.
Are you willing to say who some of these Democrats are that?
Okay, let's say Reverend Al Sharpton. I cannot stand his voice even, and he's a real wonderful man. But no, I don't like him because he is super liberal. Stubbornly so. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But it's like I'm going to miss Al Jazeera America and Al Jazeera News because there you could go and get the news, and they talked about everything and anything as long as it was news, and they had great reporter. I'm going to miss them, but I tell you, you've got to check. Anderson Cooper is one place. Wolf Blitzer and Rachel Maddow, TRLS. Yeah, okay.
Well, are you saying you don't care for those news people?
No, or I'm saying that if you are a Republican and you think these people are liberal and you don't want to listen to them, how in the hell are you going to get your news about what's going on with your liberal enemy? You have to listen if you're a Republican conservative. And if you're a Democrat liberal, you have to learn what the crazy Republicans are saying on their shows. Some things are pretty good, There is so much good in the worst of us and so much bad in the best of us. It is hard to tell which of us ought to reform the rest of us. Folks, think about that. Think about it. And then be nice to your spouse, okay? And if you don't have one,
but then be nice to your cat.
Yeah, your cat. Okay.
Or your left hand.
Okay. So we've got how many minutes left? 50?
Under a minute.
Oh, under a minute. Oh my. Okay, folks. Love God and do what you please. St. Augustine said that. Think about it. Think about it. Okay. And thank you for listening. Sean, thank you for being. And Donny, also thank you for being. And good night to you guys, and good night to Spider-Man.